We think that was unfortunate choice of words. While we can accept that the state of the local government and our municipalities leaves a lot to be desired, but you can't compare the ANC-run municipality with that or Democratic Alliance. The Democratic Alliance serves the minority, who pay rates, by the way, while largely the municipality run by the ANC is rural and people who can't pay rates services. The minority that is serviced by the DA, it's only in the affluent suburbs and towns. In Khayelitsha, we can't say the same thing. In Langa, we can't say the same thing. So we think it was unfortunate to compare the DA with the ANC.
Ramaphosa's own goal praises DA over ANC. South Africans not fooled. President Cyril Ramaphosa just scored the biggest own goal in South African politics. In rallying ANC councillors at FNB Stadium, he admitted what we all know. DA municipalities are running better than ANC municipalities, and South Africans are not buying the excuses. Welcome back to Inkari, it's time. I'm Kondos, and today we unpack how President Cyril Ramaphosa's own words have backfired badly. His attempt to inspire ANC councillors has instead exposed decades of ANC failures, and people are calling him out. President Cyril Ramaphosa's admission. During his speech, Ramaphosa pointed to DA-run municipalities as examples of better governance. Now, think about that. The ANC president himself praising the opposition for doing what the ANC has failed to do for 30 years, deliver basic services.
Comrades, it cannot and must not be acceptable that in our country we control a number of municipalities. It is hugely painful each time when the Auditor General comes to report to Cabinet and they put up their report, and those municipalities that do best are not ANC-controlled municipalities. And I can name it here because there's nothing wrong with competition. They are often DA-controlled municipalities. We need to ask ourselves, what is it that they are doing that is better than what we are doing? And there's nothing wrong with us saying we want to go and see what Cape Town is doing. We want to go and see what Stellenbosch is doing. How do they craft everything? We need to be moving up the ladder of being good at what we do. We cannot forever stay at the bottom. It hurts me deeply when I continue to see that our municipalities sometimes tend to move even backwards. And you are the people who can improve that.
ANC spin. But instead of facing reality, ANC leaders rushed to defend him. National Executive Member Mzwandile Masina tried to explain it away, saying, open quote, on all other indicators, the ANC-led government is doing very well, but on audit outcomes, we are lacking, close quote. Really, audit outcomes are not just paperwork. Clean audits mean the money goes where it should, to services and infrastructure that citizen depends on. That is what governing means.
Were the utterances made by President Ramaphosa an admission that corruption is widespread and entrenched within ANC-led municipalities? I mean, some critics say that Cyril Ramaphosa's remarks effectively gave the DA political ammunition by praising their municipalities and doing so publicly.
Look, the president was speaking to give the councillors of the ANC marching orders, and he referred to one incident in a very long speech that he gave. So when he spoke about issues of audit, and then he said that we can learn a lot from Cape Town, city of Cape Town, not from the Democratic Alliance. It is run by them. And then it was blown out of proportion in our view as the ANC to suggest that the president of the ANC has got confidence in the Democratic Alliance, which is not the case. The issue here is that there are a lot of measures that are looked at when you look at the issues of local government to measure the satisfaction of the citizens, including independent satisfaction survey and so on and so on. SALGA and other credible institutions run also different other surveys to come to the conclusion whether or not you can learn from one municipality. The fact is that on all other indicators, the ANC-led government we are doing very well. But on the audit outcomes, that's where we are lacking short. So when the president was making that reference on the audit, it was then taken out of context as if he suggests that the DA is much better than the African National Congress, which is not the point.
But it certainly came out as such, because, I mean, you will see also that some ANC leaders too took to social media, some voicing their opinions, saying that the president may have been misled. And I mean, what does that then say in terms of their interpretation of what was said? Because as you would see, a lot of analysts also agreeing with what the president has been saying in terms of finally this is an acknowledgement that the reason that most ANC-led municipalities are because of systemic corruption.
Look, the committee I served on local government presented over the past 2 days, over the weekend before Monday, a 384-page on local government, where we analyzed all sorts of problems of local government. And the president was in the meeting, and he was fairly briefed about issues that pertain to that, because this was a process. This was a process that was meant to be honest. He reflected on that, but obviously, as I said, that then other things were taken out of context. The issue here is that where there have been wrongdoings, the African National Congress has been the first to admit, and we are saying that all those who have done wrong in terms of local government under our name, they must face the music. But there are a lot of areas of best practice where the African National Congress has done very well. But it was not a section to praise ourselves, but to take marching orders so that we can make sure that we do right, especially on areas where we are weak as the African National Congress.
Public backlash. On X, South Africans didn't hold back. One person wrote, open quote, "Clean audits mean money goes to services and infrastructure, and the citizens benefit. These ANC idiots are making fools of themselves. Do they think singing and dancing and chanting slogans are indicators for how well they are doing?" Close quote. The people are tired of excuses, tired of spin. What exactly are these mysterious other indicators Masina is talking about? No one can explain them because they don't exist.
As I said, there's no party that's perfect. There are many things that the DA does wrong in some of their metros. Yeah. I'm just saying, as the ANC, you're confusing the public.
No,
when the president says one thing, then another NEC member of the ANC comes on a platform and says, no, the president didn't say that, you guys are blowing it out of proportion. Even when you've just played the clip of the president saying exactly that, and then you come later on, you say, but the president did say that where there are lessons, those lessons can be learned.
Now remember what has happened today. There has been a cheap politicking to try to project that the DA is good in every respect.
Who said that?
No, go to social media. That is why you have called me today.
But I didn't call you because of social media.
No, but we do come. Yes, social media is media.
Yeah, but I don't go to social media and say someone who says the DA is perfect and I call you to respond to that.
Listen, Clement. There was a flood of commentary, okay? There's a flood of commentary that seeks to suggest that the ANC says the DA is better than it. No, it's not true.
Yeah,
the point here is, so when the likes of Comrade Mzwandile Masina comment, they comment on the basis of what is being punted in the public discourse.
No, well, that wasn't really what he was commenting to. But anyway, I'll move from that because she was asked a direct question. What did the president say? He said those statements are taken out of context. You just said now the president wasn't taken out of context. What he was trying to say is there are certain things you can even learn from the opposition.
But I provided the context still.
He was given the opportunity to provide that context. He didn't. Let's move from that because that's not really at the heart. I just want the listeners to understand because there was an NEC member on this platform on the SABC who says something completely different to what you come and say here.
No, you are actually twisting it. If, for instance, I give you the context that the ANC says, President, for instance, did praise the DA on its governance, especially with regards to the reports of the Auditor General. Then another member of the ANC says, but that then there's a bigger context than just that.
Except that's not what he said. But let me move on. There are some people in the ANC that are saying, well, this is a political blunder, because if you make a statement like that just ahead of the elections, you are suggesting to South Africans that, in fact, the DA will then ask South Africans, the president of the biggest party in the country has just praised and endorsed our good governance. Why wouldn't you want to vote for us? Do you agree that it is a political blunder? The timing was wrong?
No, it's not a political blunder. What is a blunder when you learn from other people? I think it would be unfortunate for any member of the ANC, and that's the call we're making, not to fall to this notion that it's a blunder. When the ANC itself, by its nature, it's a learning organization.
DA's response, and the DA, of course, jumped in. They said they are more than willing to assist struggling ANC municipalities because they govern for everyone, not just DA voters. That is a clever move, but it also puts the ANC in a corner. If the opposition can deliver, what is the ANC's excuse after 30 years in power?
Your reaction then, to the words uttered there by ANC President Cyril Ramaphosa, openly acknowledging that DA-run municipalities are outperforming ANC ones in service delivery. Your reaction as the DA?
The Democratic Alliance welcomes what President Ramaphosa said yesterday afternoon. He confirmed what many DA voters as well as previous ANC voters know, and that is that the DA governs better. If you go and look at the municipalities all over South Africa, as the president said there, where the DA governs, we get clean audits, service delivery is on the order of the day, and people have got better lives. I think the binary in next year's local government election will be that every vote in South Africa will have one of two choices. Do I want to live in a DA-run municipality, or do I want to live in an ANC-run municipality? And what the president said yesterday is confirmation of the fact that DA-run municipalities are far better than ANC-run municipalities. In actual fact, he said that ANC municipalities in certain instances are going backwards, whereas when you look at where the DA governs, we govern for all the people, and we make sure that we govern with integrity and that service delivery is at the order of the day.
Before I speak about other matters, one of the things that President Cyril Ramaphosa also said there was that we need to benchmark, essentially. We need to go to areas like Cape Town. We need to go to areas like Stellenbosch. Are you anticipating a phone call from any ANC councillor or ANC-led, council to come and benchmark in those areas that have been mentioned?
Any such calls will be welcomed. The Democratic Alliance is not here to serve our party. We are here to serve South Africa. And if we can make a contribution in any other municipality where the ANC governs to assist with service delivery in those municipalities, we will most certainly do so. I want to give you an example. If we go to Gauteng and you take Mzwandile municipality, which is run by the DA, and you compare it to the ANC-run Mfuleni municipality right next door, you can see the difference between day and night. The DA Mzwandile has received clean audits, service deliveries on the order of the day, whereas when you go to Mfuleni, no clean audits, one of the most worst-run municipalities in the country, no service delivery, basically the same demographics. The difference is that with the one municipality, Mzwandile, where the DA governs, you've got the political will to give service delivery and to make that municipality succeed and to root out corruption. Whereas right next door, you have got the same amount of people, the same size of municipality, the same demographics, but you've got a municipality that failed due to the fact that the ANC is not delivering there. From the DA side, we will gladly take hands with anybody to improve service delivery for everybody in South Africa.
Yeah, critics, including within the ANC, say that the DA service delivery, especially in the areas that you've mentioned and what the ANC president also mentioned, is skewed and it neglects black communities or poorer wards. What is the DA's response there? What steps have you been taking, to ensure that in DA-run municipalities, for instance, service delivery is equitable across racial, across economic lines?
Let me give you the example of Cape Town. The Cape Town Metro is spending more in poorer areas than all 8 other metros combined. Where the DA governs, we also have got the same challenges that all the other people in South Africa has got, all other municipalities has got. But we look those problems in the eyes and we come up with solutions. We come up with investment in those areas. What you've got on a social level in South Africa is the fact that we've got to create jobs. We've got to create an environment where poorer communities can grow. It's municipalities' task to make sure that that environment on a local level is there for them, that they've got water in their taps, that they've got sewer delivery services, that sewer can be handled, and that they've got electricity that's on a continuous basis supplied by a well-maintained electrical infrastructure in that municipality. That is what local governments do, to ensure that people on ground level, the poor people as well, can have a chance and an opportunity to go forward and to really get out of the situation where they are. But anybody criticizing the DA and saying that the DA is not looking after those communities must just please go and look at the real statistics. It's easy for anybody or an ANC person to say, well, the DA is not delivering to the poor. But go and look at the statistics. And when you talk about service delivery to the poor, a clean audit is the right starting point to achieve that. A clean audit means that money is spent wisely, money is spent correctly. Whereas all these ANC municipalities that did not receive clean audits are testament to the fact that firstly, their budgets are compiled wrongly, they don't implement it correctly, they don't have the correct measures in place to make sure that the money goes towards service delivery for the people. And that is what the DA, with the clean audits that our municipalities achieve, that is what we are striving for, is not only clean audits, but service delivery. And that is what's measured. And again, it brings you back. Just ask yourself the question, where do I want to stay? Where do I want to buy my property? Do I want to do that in a DA-led good municipality or in an ANC-led bad municipality? That is the clear question that many South Africans are asking themselves at this moment. And I believe that the election results next year will tell us that people answered that question very honestly and to the benefit of themselves and their communities.
President Cyril Ramaphosa thought he was rallying his troops, but instead he admitted the obvious. ANC municipalities are failing, and South Africans knows it. The excuses don't hold water anymore. The ANC can dance, sing, and spin all at once, but citizens are living with sewage, broken roads, and collapsing infrastructure.
Residents say the situation is not just uncomfortable, it's unsafe. Many are now forced to relocate to avoid the foul water, which has become a serious health hazard.
We can't use this room. My daughter just had a baby, and her baby had to move out of this room as the baby was getting sick because of this water. The water comes from next door, but it's made a mess here in all our bedrooms, and we can't use our front as well.
We need bigger pipes from the municipality. There are many houses that are being built in this area. There needs to be a big pipe that will be able to transport all this sewage. You find that one pipe bursts and then another all over the place.
The community says they have tried to contact the authorities with no response.
So 2022 and I call again. I called, the people say no. The other house there, the number is number 15. She called already. So the people know from this thing. And I wait now almost.
The Nelson Mandela municipality says the matter has been escalated and a team will be dispatched to investigate.
We have been alerted of a possible sewage blockage in Karieja community. A team has been deployed to go and investigate the matter so that we can resolve it as soon as possible.
The residents say they cannot afford to wait much longer. They are calling for a lasting solution to end their ongoing nightmare.
My fellow South Africans, this is the time to decide. Do we want another 30 years of excuses, or do we want leaders who actually deliver? Is this the time to try the DA? If you believe we need change, don't just sit back. Like this video, comment your views, share it with others, and importantly, subscribe to Inkari is Time, because the time is now. Thanks for watching and take care.